Okay, what's going on, guys? Welcome to a brand new episode of Energized. Ross, it's Fight Island.
Boy Island is still here. It's Yaz Island. It's Yan Island. It's Darren Till and Robert Whittaker Island this week.
Rhys
Barry,
McKee Island.
Rhys McKee Island. I am loving Fight Island. I think it is such an amazing concept, and the fights we're getting are fantastic on it.
Yeah,
They really are.
agree. I 100% agree.
I think it's exceeded expectations, if I'm honest.
Yeah, I'm sort of like, I want them to stay there forever, but like obviously you want to come back for UFC Dublin at some stage, but I just love everything about it, even the art they make for the clip art, the gifs sort of thing.
Yeah, the gifts.
Yeah, even the t-shirts now are cool as fuck. Like it is brilliant. It is brilliant.
Baz, it looks like UFC 253 is all confirmed that all book confirmed that it's going to be Adesanya versus Paulo Costa, two undefeated fighters going head to head. That's going to take place on September 19th, the day after my birthday. Do you think that that's going to happen on Fight Island? Because they're both international fighters, and that's sort of where all the international fights are taking place.
At the moment, where's it originally meant to be scheduled for? Vegas?
It doesn't. I don't think it has a set destination yet.
See, that's the thing. A while ago, when Fight Island was announced, myself and yourself were talking about it, and we were like, right, there's a possibility of Fight Island happening way longer than scheduled. Like this weekend, obviously Darren Till is taking on Robert Whittaker, and that was meant to be the closing of Fight Island, but it's not looking like it's leaving the island anytime soon. And I'm sure Dana White's enjoying getting that lovely pink suntan. And you can't beat that tan, Roscoe.
No, you can't. And he's even looking to buy the house. Like he's looking at the long haul. You know what I mean? You don't buy a house on Yaz Island unless you plan on doing a lot of business there.
Yeah, that's very true.
So, Basil, not only has Fight Island been brilliant fights, they've been fast and furious. There's been 2 cards since the last one we were on here talking fights. We get into the first one. Calvin Kattar obviously won a unanimous decision against Dan Ige. Basil, Calvin Kattar's on a tear at the moment, isn't he?
Ross, ever since coming through, is it Dana White's Contender Series?
To be honest, I actually don't know where he came from. All I know is he's a Boston guy, so like Dana White loves him. He's like Boston's own Calvin Kattar.
Pure
you know
scrapper.
What I mean?
Like you could only really call him a scrapper. Yeah, he's going in kicking ass, and he's looking good doing it, Ross. He
really, really is. Like, you know what I mean? He already got some good wins on his record. Like, he's beat Lamas, he's beat Stevens, he's beat Ige. I mean, there's not a lot of people for him to sort of like go up against next, if you know what I mean. He also went to fight to beat in Russia, which not many people would do that. And he lost at 29-28, but he was actually won the 3rd round. So who knows if that was a 5-rounder, where it would have went. And it should have been a 5-rounder because it was the main event. But he took that on short notice. Also, when he was originally supposed to fight to beat, it was supposed to be in Boston. So like it was actually like, it's grand, I'll just go to Russia and fight him. If that isn't ballsy, I don't know what is. You know what I mean?
No. Yeah, I didn't know that was actually, I didn't know that he was meant to originally fight in his own backyard, and then took it to Zabit's backyard. And it's not as if that's in New York.
So for Calvin Kattar, it's a bit like, who's going to fight next? I'm pretty sure Zabit's tied up fighting Yair Rodriguez. I think there's real beef between the Korean Zombie and Brian Ortega. But there seems to be like travel issues between those two fighting. I don't think Korean Zombie can actually get out of South Korea at the moment. So why not have Brian Ortega versus Calvin Kattar? Or alternatively, you could go for the big one and have Max Bless Holloway versus Calvin Kattar.
Jesus, man.
And he's so good at stand-up. Like, he keeps the fight like standing basically for the whole fight. His kicks, like, he combines kicks and punches so well.
Yeah, I think if he was to fight Brian Ortega, and if he kept on the feet, he'd beat him. But as well, Brian Ortega loves taking to the ground. But if he fights Max Holloway, that would just be like, get the popcorn out. This is going.
It would be good, wouldn't it?
This is going to be a good one, yeah. No, but they're 2 good shouts.
They are, aren't they?
Yeah. Is there any what did you make of that card on the Wednesday night? Anyway, it was obviously a week.
To be honest, like I was enjoying it, but then like when it's 5 decisions on the main card, you're just like, not great. But then obviously there was like some standouts, like Munir Laziz, the Tunisian guy. he was very impressive just because like Al Hassan is like a human wrecking ball. So I was impressed to see like he actually like beat him on the stand up.
Yeah.
And then
that was fight of the night.
Yeah, your mate Kazmat, the Swedish Khabib, he was brilliant against John Phillips. And then unfortunately, the UK talent Chris Fishgold and Molly McCann both lost decisions.
Yeah, Talia Santos beat Molly McCann, looked very good as well. Funnily enough, Talia Santos and Munir Laziz are both signed by MTK MMA, which is actually
which I wonder will we see that growing.
Yeah, but like they're two brilliant talents. I remember I messaged you after those fights went on so late. By the way, they went on later than the Saturday night fights because of Wednesday. I was like, geez, I'm still awake here. But like Laziz was brilliant, and also Kazma, which is the random thing.
Also,
but,
when they're all decisions, it's hard to stay awake, isn't it?
Yeah. It's strange when you're watching a card. You don't really know much of the fighters, which will be the majority of the fan base of UFC. They'd be like, I don't know who this is, I don't know who that is, and I didn't know the majority of the fighters. But when you're watching it and you can see that the good fights are going on, you're like, whoa. And I remember Ian Gary goes, "You're not a star until you're a star." Yeah, so really, you're not a star until you're a star until you have that big win.
Yeah, like I think you can always like pinpoint when someone like became a star. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if you look at Adesanya, like when he did like that walkout against Robert Whittaker and he was dancing all beforehand, people are just like, fucking hell, never seen that before. I'm gonna keep an eye on him. You know, Conor McGregor, as soon as he went 60 G's, baby, like people were like, I have to watch out for that fella.
Yeah.
Sean O'Malley, as soon as he was on the Contender Series, you're like, what is that? You know what I mean? Like these guys all have like these like moments where you're like, yes, that's right.
Give us another moment. You've mentioned three. Give us two more.
I think when Khabib smashed Michael Johnson and was talking to Dana White during the fight, like that was like another like, this guy's scary. You know what I mean?
And one more.
And then
I can pick if you want.
And then Chael Sonnen, when he got on the mic and called out Anderson Silva, it was like that guy.
All right, I was going to add Masvidal in against Ben Askren there. That was a real like,
yeah.
Shit.
Or Nate Diaz, you've taken everything I've ever worked for. You know what I mean? That moment, you know what I mean? It was like embedded in like UFC history.
I love it, man. I love it. This is why I love this sport, because things change every week and new stories are written and new fighters come on the scene, and it's just absolutely epic. But Ross, also on Saturday night we had a flyweight title fight. Devson Figueiredo defeated Joseph Benavidez and is now the new champ. What did you make of this, man?
Man, Figueiredo like decisively beat Benavidez twice. Now I know he missed weight in the first fight, and like that's actually shocking, and you can't be rocking around and missing weight, but he like beat him on the feet, he knocked him down, smashed him, and then absolutely choked him out unconscious.
He looks like a star, man.
Yeah, to me, like that's who I want to see. The only thing with Figueroa is it's the bantamweight division, or sorry, the flyweight division. You know what I mean? Like all the stars are up bantamweight. There's no real stars of flyweight. You know what I mean? He beat the biggest star of flyweight, which was Joey Benavidez. So,
and realistically, no one knocks out people in flyweight.
No, realistically, he should probably fight Brandon Moreno next. I think he's the number one contender. But there is talks of Cody Garbrandt moving down to flyweight. He's talked about it loads of times. And I think if you are trying to make Figueiredo a star, or you want to remake Cody Garbrandt a star, like that's a big fight to make. The only problem with that is if Garbrandt moves down and wins, you know he's going to ask for a bantamweight title shot straight away. And I think the problem with flyweights is as soon as these guys get a bit of star power, they want to move up to bantamweight and try and become champ. And it's sort of a murky water because it's almost like you're knocking around flyweight until you have enough clout to get out of the flyweight division.
Yeah.
So,
well, you have to enjoy the fruits of your hard work, you know?
Oh, absolutely. The fruits of your loins.
Is that it, yeah?
I think so, yeah. But look, great win.
Fruits of your labour, I think it is, isn't it?
Whichever.
You have three. There's three options there. Take one.
Yeah, exactly. So, look, it'll be interesting to see where Figueroa goes next. But I'll definitely be watching one way or the other.
Yeah, were you surprised Joey Benavidez didn't retire?
No, I think like he can definitely still fight. You know what I mean? There's no need for him to call it a day.
Yeah.
And also, like, I don't really know what he has lined up outside the cage. I haven't really seen his, like, this is what I do when I'm not fighting, or this is what my retirement plan. I know, obviously, Megan's probably got a well-paid job, but I feel like maybe he could have come into, like, commentary, but I feel like Dominic Cruz has, like, that job nailed. So, like, all the bantamweights is, like, that's Dominic Cruz's job.
Yeah.
And I feel like they almost like to have a fella in each weight class. I think they can give like their thoughts on that division. Like they're the experts in that division per se.
This might sound a bit harsh, right? But do you think because he's so small, it's harder for him to do the interviews? Because, like, say if he had to interview Francis Ngannou, like the camera angles would be all over the place, you know?
Well, no, Megan O'Leary's very small and she interviews everyone.
I know, but she's. Oh, okay, all right.
Joe Rogan's tiny and he interviews everyone too.
Yeah, but he's not like that. He's not that small.
He's not that much taller than him. It's only about 3 inches in the difference, I'd say.
Yeah, but I'm sure if you get offered Joey Benavidez 3 inches, I'm sure if you offered anyone 3 inches, they'd say, yeah. Unless you were like the great Khali. But Ross, also in the comment.
Wow, you're so tallest, by the way.
No, I was just wondering, man. So, well, you know the way girls are these days. Like, you know what I mean? If you're under 6 foot, get the boot.
You're in trouble, are you?
Yeah. So unfortunately, being 6'7" right now, I'm grand. But I could use that 6'10" height. Ross, in the co-main event, Jack Hermanson beat Kelvin Gastelum. Going into this, I think we both thought Kelvin Gastelum would get the win. Jack Hermanson got a very, very fast submission in the first round, Ross. And
yeah, you just caught him in a knee bar straight away. I was actually very disappointed with Kelvin Gastelum's submission defense.
Yeah,
like he could have like kicked off his arse basically to like try and push out. But I think a lot of the fighters, a lot of the tweets afterwards, like probably should have got out of that. It looked like he didn't try to get out of it.
Ross, this is Kelvin Gastelum is someone who rolls with Fabricio Verdum.
I know, yeah, it's bizarre, really, and I don't know. Like, sometimes I question Kelvin Gastelum's dedication to the sport. I really do. He says he's on a mission for gold. Look, if he actually, got a nutritionist and like was properly smashing it out with the way he should be and eating right and being 100% fully committed to it, I think he could go on and be a UFC champion.
Do you think he could be Kamaru Usman?
Yeah, I think he could. I think he has all the right tools to do it. He's very hard to take down. He actually does have good submissions. Apparently, he's quite weak defensively because I've seen him get submitted a few times now. But like he's got great hands as well. Like he stood with Adesanya. So, like, it's hard to believe that you've gone from fight of the year candidate Adesanya to just like knee barred in under 2 minutes against Jack Hermanson.
Yeah, I'm going to make an excuse here. Maybe the travel over to Yazon isn't as comfortable for certain people as it is for others. But I mean, at the end of the day, you're both there in the cage. Like you have to sort of step up.
Yeah, you do. You definitely do.
Yeah. Ross, by the way, Jack Hermanson, what an interview post-fight. Like he seems like such a lovely guy and such a happy guy.
The Joker, like possibly maybe one of the most underrated fighters in the UFC at the moment.
Yeah, he was on a tear. It was because he was on a tear, then lost, and then now he's back.
Yeah, well, he got knocked out by Cannonier, but look, Cannonier is one of the best guys in the business, you know what I mean? Now, in his last 3 fights, he has wins over Jacare Souza and Kelvin Gastelum, who are perennial contenders for the middleweight belt. So it's only about time Jack Hermanson's going to get his rub of the green. Now, with the sort of way, obviously there's massive middleweight fight this weekend, but the way the middleweight rankings sort of sit, who knows where Jack Hermanson sort of lies. If anything, if I were him, I'd sort of staying fit and staying healthy. Who knows? Maybe if one of those guys don't make weight, he can be still sitting there being like, "I'll jump in, lads. Don't worry about it."
Yeah.
Why not? You know what I mean?
No, I 100% agree. Sorry, I was just looking through the card and seeing Ross. Who else are the honourable mentions before we get into this weekend's UFC?
Honourable mentions. I am going to give a massive shout out for Askarov, the Russian flyweight, who beat Alexandre Pantoja. Because at the end of the day, he called for a title shot next, and you never know, we might get it. And also, big shout out to Brett Johns, that Welshman, He's an absolute legend. He beat Montel Jackson. I was actually expecting Montel Jackson to get the win. In sad news for sort of Irish MMA, Joe Duffy lost, didn't look great, and then retired.
Yeah, Joe Duffy. Happy retirement, Joe. But also, there's two other people I want to give a shout out. It was the performance of the night for Ariane Lipski. First of all, like, she has it all. It's like, she's gorgeous, and like, she won by knee bar against Luana Carolina. Like, just Ariane Lipski is all, like, she's an all rounder. And then also the man who lives in the Matrix would be Mark Diakise, Rafael Fiziev. Like, some of his kicks and the way he could just like dodge punches by bending backwards is unbelievable. I was watching him, I was like, oh shit. And he fights in the lightweight division, so he's going to be trouble for people. He's from Kosovo. Where's Januzaj from?
Yeah, Kosovo, yeah.
All right, Ross, that was another good card. He has on, he's banging them out. But this weekend, Roscoe,
this is the best card Yaz Island has. You know that?
Oh yeah. If you're looking forward to UFC this weekend, make sure to like, make sure to subscribe, and make sure to let us know who you are backing the win this weekend. So Ross,
get the wallet out.
Ross, this is actually a very, very, very long card. So without going through every fight, what fights do you want to? Is there anyone you want to give an honourable mention to in the prelims before we get onto the main card?
Prelims. Look out for the UK's Nathaniel Wood. He's fighting the very first fight night. He lost last fight to John Dodson, but he is unbelievable. Also, shout out to Mike Grundy at featherweight. He's an unbelievable wrestler. Nicholas Dalby, who obviously had that absolute bloodbath with our mate Ross Houston. And then Joy Herbert, the former Cage Warriors lightweight champion, is fighting Francesco Trinaldo in the prelims main event.
Who'd you fancy for that one?
Absolutely fantastic ones. I like Joy Herbert in that one. Okay. Francesco Trinaldo's like your granddad fighting. He is, man. Like, I don't think I've anyone seen someone in the lightweight division who's 41 and still like absolutely repping it. You know what I mean?
Very harsh, man. Neither of my granddads are alive, but if you're just going to be like that, we'll just move on. Right, what's kicking off the main card is our mate Rhys McKee is taking on Khamzat Chimaev. Ross, let me get into this, right? I need to get off this. I need to actually look at you one dog here. Right, here we go. Khamzat fought on Wednesday, so literally a week ago, and he fought John Phillips from SPG. And he absolutely destroyed John Phillips. And usually Khamzat fights a welterweight, and he was fighting a middleweight. So I go to Ross, I go, this guy Khamzat is going to be a massive problem for anyone at welterweight. Ross was like, well, he fights a middleweight. And I was like, no, he normally fights a welterweight. And then there was just no reply. It was like, this guy looks like Khabib. He's fast as anything. He basically looks like Khabib.
Man, he's an absolute monster. Like, yeah, and he's got it all. He can do it on the feet. He can do it on the ground. He made John Phillips look very, very amateurish. And John Phillips is very tough. You know what I mean? And he manhandled him as well. And John Phillips was clearly like the thicker fella as well. So
yeah, he absolutely destroyed John Phillips. It was actually scary.
Rhys McKee, like, has the deck stacked against him for his UFC debut.
Yeah, talk about how we got the call as well, by the way, Ross.
So, Graham Boylan actually rang Rhys McKee on FaceTime.
Yeah.
And he basically sort of went, what do you think of the Masvidal fight? Stepping up on 6 days' notice. And Rhys, obviously being the absolute fighter he is, he was like, it was absolutely brilliant. He was like, I thought, like, what a fighter. That's absolutely incredible. And he was like, then Graham Boylan sort of swung at him and goes, would you do that? And obviously Rhys McKee being Rhys McKee, he was like, yeah, without a doubt, I'd 100% do that. And the next thing you know, Graham Boylan goes, right, bud, pack your bags. We're going to Fight Island. You're up. And then Rhys McKee was like, no way. Got very emotional, which I'm not surprised. Like, it was, that's all he'd been working hard for his entire career. And next thing you know, he's like, who am I fighting? And they're like, no, Grant.
Yeah.
So he was like, who am I fighting? And then Graham Boylan was like, Khamzat. And then Rhys McKee was like, who? It doesn't matter. I'm going to fight him anyway. So, look, I'm sure they watched tape on him. I'm sure they think he's very impressive as well. But Rhys McKee is a finisher. He goes in there, he'll finish it with strikes, he'll finish it with submissions. So at all times in that cage, Rhys McKee is very, very dangerous.
Yeah, when watching that video, by the way, how did that make you feel?
Man, he got so emotional about it. It made me a bit emotional about it. I felt like I've been somewhat, although very smally, on that journey with him. You know what I mean? I've seen him fight so many times. I've seen him fight in person. We've had him on the show.
Yeah.
It made me feel like I was seeing one of my friends' dreams come true.
Yeah, man, well said. That's man. I got like a chill when I saw it. Like it was because it's not every day you see someone get that call. Like,
Get what they've worked hard for. You know what I mean?
But even like say if it was someone signing for Manchester United, like you never really get to see the actual call that was made when their dreams were fulfilled.
Yeah.
And then also like it's a huge task. So like hopefully he gets to win, but he also got a 4-5 contract as well. So it's not just one fight and then like see you later, you know.
Yeah, it's not one and done.
Yeah, but it's a huge fight. If he wins this is a huge name to get straight away. But it makes this card this weekend so much better for us knowing him as well.
Absolutely, it's a big deal. It really is,
and it's almost a passing of the guard as well. Joe Duffy retires, Rhys now steps in. It's class.
Yeah, it really is. There is going to be, I think, in the next year a massive sort of Irish up and coming passing of the guard. Next wave of Irish fighters.
Yeah, for people that don't know, who should they start looking out for? Because Cage Warriors is coming back, and there's going to be a few Irish lads in that card that are going to make the
first of all, make sure you watch Rhys McKee this weekend. Obviously, Ian Gary, Paul Hughes, they're like Ireland's 3 biggest prospects right now, and they're definitely the ones to be watching out for.
Yeah, well said. Okay, Ross, obviously that fight is huge. So it sort of makes some of these other fights look so much smaller. But is there any other fights you want to talk about before we get into the Fabricio Verdum versus Alexander Gustafsson fight?
Let me have a quick look here. Well, obviously, Alex Cowboy Oliveira is fighting.
Yeah.
And he's fighting Peter Sabata. Peter Sabata hasn't fought in over 2 years. And let's be honest, anytime these guys get into the octagon, they really, really bring it. So I'm really looking forward to that. They're both finishers, and that could be your fight of the night. You never know.
True.
Other than that, like Carla Esparza has looked very impressive recently. She's sort of on her way back to UFC title shot. She's won her last 3 fights. So obviously she beat Michelle Waters in her last fight. In terms of that, Mariana Rodriguez is actually undefeated. She drew against Cynthia Calveo in a catchweight fight there on the Overeem versus Rosenstruik card. So that could be a very competitive scrap there in the strawweight division. But Fabricio Verdum versus Alexander Gustafsson. Talk about fights you never thought you were going to get.
Yeah.
And now we have in front of us.
Yeah, so Fabricio Verdum is coming into this one off a loss, and that was so surprising the way he lost to Alexei Oleinik. And then Alexander Gustafsson is making his heavyweight debut. Ross, what are you expecting here? Because the funny thing is, Alexander Gustafsson has always fought a heavyweight, but he's actually taller than Fabricio.
I really like Alexander Gustafsson in this fight. I think he's going to be faster. I think his striking's more clean, and I think he's going to be able to take the TKO. I think it was one of those people who the time off probably did him a world of good. You know that? Let time for his body to recover. Also, looking at Verdum lose to Oleinik, I think Gustafsson's going to come in heavier than Oleinik did. I think Gustafsson's going to at least weigh 230 pounds, I'd say. Oleinik weighed, I think, 220 something in the last fight. He's also going to be much longer than him. And Gustafsson has quite good wrestling. So we've seen it against John Jones, he took him down. We've seen him against DC. He's not taken down easily. So,
yeah,
John Jones couldn't take him down easily. Daniel Cormier couldn't take him down easily. Verdum wrestling isn't as good as either of those 2 guys, so I don't see Verdum take him down. I think it's going to play out on the feet. Oleinik sort of pieced him up on the feet. He looked terrible in that fight, and I think Gustafsson's going to be able to do the same. I think put your money on Gustafsson for this fight.
Yeah, Fabricio was so bad in his last fight. It looked like okay, he's had enough. He's hit the wall
Yeah.
now. But to come back,
All-time dad bod coming into the last fight as well.
yeah, he just looks so terrible, didn't he? And I was sort of like, I don't really want to see that again. But who knows?
Yeah, absolute gut out.
Yeah, but it's funny how like he could come in and then just catch Gustafsson. It's a strange sport, but if I had to put my money on it, I'd go Gustafsson as well. And then let's see what damage Gustafsson can do up in the heavyweight division, because he's already ranked number 7 here. It says here supposedly in the heavyweight division.
Yeah. So, who,
Oh, right.
Verdum?
No, Gustafsson.
No, Gustafsson. No, it says 7 in light heavyweight in brackets.
Okay, I can't see it here.
Look extra close there. No, but he's 7 in light heavyweight.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, that makes more sense. But
Yeah.
It doesn't say that there anyway.
But I'm telling you, that's what it is.
Okay, Ross. I don't believe you. Okay, in the gold main event, this is like a throwback Thursday, even though it's Wednesday. Mauricio Shogun, who has taken on Antonio Nogueira, Rodrigo Nogueira, it's a little nog in the light heavyweight division. Ross, did you ever think we'd see part 3?
No, like, has there ever been such a match between two absolute legends? Yeah, there has. A rubber match that no one asked for. I think Chuck Liddell, Tito Ortiz. This is the first time since that where we've got two absolute legends fighting each other that like no one asked for this fight to happen. Shogun's last fight, he actually drew against the Jew Bear, Paul Craig, and in terms of Nogueira, he lost the last fight to Ryan Spam. So I know I'm just going to back Shogun. I feel like he's better on the feet. I feel like his leg kicks are still a bit vicious. So that's who I'm going to pick. But I really think that should be the third fight, and Gustafsson would be the co-main event, to be honest.
Yeah. What happened in the first 2 fights between these two lads?
So the first fight between these guys, sorry, I almost have to look it up. I'm pretty sure Shogun won the first one, and then Nogueira won the second one, if I am right. Nogueira won the first one, and Nogueira won this. Oh no, Shogun won both. Sorry, Shogun won both. I do apologize. Both by decision. Yeah.
Shogun won both. And why are they even having a rubber match?
Oh no, maybe Nogueira was like, this is my retirement party, so like the person I want to fight is Shogun.
So hold on.
Maybe it feels like you want to get that back, get that win back.
Yeah. So what? Shogun won the first 2.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going Shogun again, even though because he was on a tear there recently, and like Nogueira, you don't really see him around really.
Yeah, but I think Shogun's going to win, and I think he's going to win by knockout as well.
Yeah, that's a good call actually. Then Ross, main event. This was meant to be UFC double as a headliner. But we still get to see it. Robert Whittaker's taking on Darren Till.
Yeah, we have the Reaper versus the Gorilla. Look, Darren Till. Although I don't know whether his win looks less now, but Darren Till came off a win against Kelvin Gastelum. Kelvin Gastelum was obviously coming off his fight of the year candidate against Adesanya.
Yeah.
Darren Till looks good at middleweight. He's not cutting the weight. His stand-up looks very good. He looks hard to take down. Robert Whittaker, on the other hand, he's coming off a knockout loss to Israel Adesanya. Adesanya made him look very average in that fight. Yeah. I must say. Well,
Whittaker that hasn't really looked like the world champion that he is since he sort of became the champ.
Yeah, well, at the end of the day, he had to fight Yoel Romero twice, and everyone knows you're not the same after having to fight Yoel Romero. Look at Chris Weidman; he's not the prettiest of faces these days.
He's harsh, man. That's harsh. You're
harsh. He actually doesn't look bad at all. But his career has gone on a bit of a negative trajectory, to be honest.
Yeah. Also, the stomach issues he's had as well. He's had to pull out, I think, 2 fights.
He has indeed. At the end of the day, Robert Whittaker is the former champ, so I'd sort of almost have to say he's the favourite going into the fight. But at the end of the day, who's the more hungry? You know what I mean? Robert Whittaker's already been to the top of the mountain. He did want to take so much time off. Darren Till, is very, very hungry. He's chasing that belt. I don't know. It's a bit of a tough one to call, to be honest.
Yeah, I know.
I'm like,
because you know what? Can I tell you why?
Yeah.
Because first, I think this is what you're saying, right? Against Israel Adesanya, striker, right?
Yeah.
And beat Whittaker. Darren Till, striker, he's fighting Whittaker. But then Darren Till lost to a wrestler in Woodley, and Whittaker is a wrestler as well. So it's sort of like they both lost to the same type of person, but both beat the same type of person.
You know what's weird? I actually feel like I can't envision these two guys standing across the octagon from each other. I think a lot of the times when I look at a fight, I can see the fight playing out. I actually don't really know what's going to happen in this one, if that makes sense. I'm
going to jump in now. I don't think it's going to be a great fight.
Do you not think so?
No. I'm watching it 100%. And I
don't know. I think Robert Whittaker is going to get into a brawl with Darren Till, and I think Robert Whittaker is going to win by knockout.
You think Whittaker's going to win by knockout?
I don't overly trust Darren Till's chin, to be honest. And Whittaker, like, he's been rocked, but then he's come out and rocked. Like, Romero, like, cracked him some massive shots. Whittaker stayed in there. When Till got cracked by Masvidal, he was out. When Till got cracked by Woodley, he was dropped, and he was, like, on the verge of going out, and then he got choked out. Whittaker, I think, is going to be able to crack him and get the job done. Till's shown he could be hit before. Whittaker is a very heavy hitter. I'm backing Whittaker to get the job done. Our mate, Robert Whittaker.
I know. It's such a hard one. Like, it's hard to see it play out because it is such a strange fight. And also, like, it's hard to say Till's going to win because if Whittaker just does what Woodley did, he'll win. But if Darren Till does what Adesanya did against Whittaker, he'll win. I almost feel like pausing the video. I don't even know, like, I'm trying to see this, but
answer me this, Baz. If Till does lose, does he still have star power? Because I feel like he's one of those people who can lose a few times and still keep a star power.
Yeah, I think he's turned into a bit of a cowboy, isn't he?
I think he is. I think he's like such a lovable character outside the cage that people are going to watch him fight every single time.
Yeah, I think for the sake of the crack and the stories, because you obviously want to bring up what's next for these fighters. I want Darren. I prefer if Darren Till won.
And another question: that if Darren Till wins, does he get an automatic title shot? Because I don't think if Robert Whittaker wins, he gets an automatic title shot.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. I think Darren Till versus Adesanya or Paulo Costa would be class, man. It would just be brilliant. Adesanya versus Darren Till, like going at it online. I think it's brilliant for the fans. I think it just draws more eyes. It's just a win-win for everyone, especially Dana White.
If Robert Whittaker wins, does he need Paulo Costa to take the belt off Adesanya?
Yes.
He does, doesn't he, to get that title shot? So, I don't know. I feel like the middleweight division, it's almost like we have two semi-finals here, and then like Jared Cannonier sitting off in the back as the alternate to step in. But
yeah,
I do think Robert Whittaker has the higher profile wins. Like, he's beaten Jacare Souza, he's beaten Yo Romero, he's beaten Derek Brunson. He's like sort of almost, made his wave in the division. He knows where he stands. Robert Whittaker, Darren Till, we've only seen him fight Kelvin Gastelum, and like he won a split decision. As we said with Kelvin Gastelum, who knows what Gastelum, sort of shows up. So
yeah, but like Ross, I can't see Darren Till getting knocked out because Kelvin Gastelum hits like a truck, and he still couldn't knock out Darren Till, even how questionable his chin could be. And then, if Whittaker wrestles him, I'm convinced he'll 100% win. So that's more what I'm siding with, like a wrestle win for Whittaker.
Oh no, I've never seen Whittaker actually wrestle someone for a whole fight. Although Robert Whittaker is a very good wrestler. A lot of people don't know this, but Robert Whittaker actually tried to go wrestle for Australia for the Olympics.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, but Dana White was like, no, you can't do that. It's like you're going to fight for the belt, man. You can't be wrestling the Olympics.
Yeah, but wouldn't be
Till on the other hand, when he got taken down by Woodley, although he was knocked down, like there was no getting up for him.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like that's it. I see that. Like if I had to put my money on it, I'd see Whittaker getting on top and then just dominating the position.
What about Whittaker, like sort of getting takedowns for 2 rounds? Darren Till's knackered, and then he tries to knock him out.
Yeah, that's that. Okay, there you've almost ruined
Yeah.
the story. Yeah, because Whittaker, we know now is not gonna like bang. He's not gonna be like, I'm gonna play into Darren Till's hand. Like, why would you do that?
And then do you think if Whittaker got another crack at Adesanya, he'd try and wrestle him for the whole fight?
Yeah, but
Yeah,
but there is. You see, the thing in the back of my mind is I don't think Whittaker is here for the long run.
No, why not?
Because the illnesses he's had with his stomach, like remember his daughters have like he's had family issues recently as well that he's sort of pulled out. He doesn't seem overly committed into the fight game, whereas this is Darren Till's life.
He's only 29, Basmo. Robert Whittaker. You know what I mean?
I know, but
So,
but the sicknesses he's had.
yeah, but maybe I don't know. I think you know what Saturday night will tell a lot. I think really will.
I know, yeah.
And maybe he's got them fully fixed. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure he had surgeries on the stomach, so it'll be interesting to see if he's back to full fitness. But
well, it's
what
hard.
What a main event, really. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
very sad this not happening in Dublin. But guys, definitely let us know who you think is going to win between Robert Whittaker and Darren Till, and will the winner get a title shot against the winner of Adesanya versus Paulo Costa?
Man, I can't believe that, man.
This is what we need to know. It's going to be an epic main event. Whether you think the fight's going to be like good or not, just like what's at stake for the middleweight division is massive.
Yeah, man, that would have been great in UFC Dublin, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
No. Yeah, and also I like both lads. But like for the fans, they'd prefer Darren Till to win because he captures the imagination way more than Robert Whittaker. Robert Whittaker, when we met him, man, such a lovely guy. You know what I mean? But that happens in the fight game. It's a small world, and the best fight the best.
Yeah, that's all we're looking for. Basmo, have a look at the card there and give us 3 guaranteed wins on the night for the lads to get their money out.
Okay, I'll go Gustafsson, I'll go Shogun, and I go Rhys McKee.
Nice. I'm going to go Alexander Gustafsson. I'm going to pick a few ones lower down the card. I'm going to say Joy Herbert and Nathaniel Wood. Oh, and then Mike Grundy as well. Mike Grundy is a very good wrestler. There you go. I picked 4 for you. Get the wallet out, set up your Paddy Power accounts, and win that money, and then send us some after you win it.
And gamble responsibly.
Yeah.
Also if you're looking forward to UFC this weekend on Saturday, there's actually Bellator is back on the Friday. Ricky Bandejas is taking on Sergio Pettis in the bantamweight division. Ricky Bandejas notoriously known for the sweet chin music KO knockout of James Gallagher, and Sergio Pettis most known for formerly fighting in the UFC and being Anthony Showtime Pettis' brother.
Who do you think's going to win that fight, by the way, Basmo?
Ricky Bandejas.
Yeah, so do I. He trains with like one Arch Led and stuff like that, so like I feel like his camp is like top of the range. Now, obviously, I know Pettis trains with his brother and stuff like that, but I don't know. I've just seen him lose 1 or 2 fights that I thought he probably should have won before. I suppose Bandejas looks very impressive.
Yeah, Bandejas looks all right. Then Aaron Pico is actually fighting as well against Solo Hatley Jr. Aaron Pico came on with a bang, and now he's sort of in limbo, so he definitely needs a win there. There's no one else really I can see that deserves. I mean, I'm sure they all deserve a shout out, but there's no one really that people will probably know.
Man, Basil, I was like, maybe we shouldn't say that. But there's only 6 fights on that card, isn't there?
Yeah. Well, it's if you're chilling out on a Friday, you know what I mean. A lot of people in America who watch this show are still having to stay indoors. So I mean, it's something good to watch on a Friday night.
Oh, your man Taiwan Claxton's fighting on that card. Actually, he's the fellow who did that massive flying knee. Remember that? No.
Or hey, Masvidal?
No. Taiwan Claxton was like, you know the Michael Jordan slam dunk? It was like that slam dunk of knees. It was like from a mile away, and he just nailed it.
All right, you're gonna have to send me
make sure to check that out. So, guys, thanks a million for watching. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, hit that bell for the notifications, and as always,
stay energized.
Stay energized.